MK knife making, TH Outdoors. Sorry, I'm a hair late. I was doing the dishes and the clock inside the house is a little bit slow. We're gonna start just by running some scrap from supper over to the pigs and giving the pigs their food. Hope everyone had a good day. It's a beautiful evening out here, nice and sunny. We are going to get a fantastic sunset on this live stream. So thank you guys for joining me. And yeah, we'll get this sunset captured. It's been a great evening for live stream, guys. I encourage you guys to go check out 2 other live stream channels. They also do a lot of long form channels. Go check out Large Family Homestead and Kermudge in Alaska. I was on both of their live streams earlier. They were both streaming today. And you know, just so many fantastic people out here, including you, Derico. I see you here. How you guys doing? We are out with the piggies. Let's get this tripod set up in a way that we're not going to drop it. Okay, guys, I'm giving you some food scraps first. Don't fight too much over them. Go eat some food scraps. And I'm going to get you guys some food. We're going to just shovel the food right in there for the pigs. That's the easiest way. Hi, Lily. No, we'll use the bucket, but we're going to shovel it in the bucket. Let's get this going here. Hi, Lily. Lily's cleaning up the rest of the scraps that were in the pail. She's going to town being a dog. Says, Dad, all you ever feed me is steak and salmon. I like yogurt and eggs too, Dad. I know, Lily. I know. Okay. Okay, pigs. Are you guys ready? This is a schmorgy borgy. I know I just fed you what feels like scraps, but here we go, pigs. Dump it in. Spread it out in a nice line so that they don't fight too much over it. And Jericho says, steak and salmon, that's good eating, Lily. Yeah, she eats very well. Like I said before, I collect there you go. Like I said, I collect the expired grocery food store food items. And so we get a lot of meat. And Lily gets an all meat diet because of that. Can't feed these guys. Up here in northern Canada, it's illegal. It is illegal, not legal, to feed pigs meat. So we give them this hog powder and we mix it up with a little bit of yogurt and food scraps every once in a while. Keep them nice and happy. Here you guys, another, half a pail. I need to measure these guys this weekend. So this weekend, I need to measure them to see how big they are. So the way you tell how big a pig is you'll take a string and start with one end, wrap it around their belly, stretch that out, measure how long it is. And then from kind of the base of their shoulders back to their bum, measure their body. And then you will be able to do a math conversion to figure out how much they weigh. It's the same way you do cows, actually. Guys, settle down. And why is it illegal? So my understanding is the reason they made it illegal to feed pigs or any livestock animals meat in Canada is because of contamination, illness. You could potentially give them a taste for meat, which could then, A, it's going to make them more aggressive. They're going to potentially eat each other. But also, B, you can spread things like trichinosis, which is a parasite that meat-eating animals can contain. And then there's also like swine flu, that kind of stuff. Yeah, stuff, because they are close enough in, you know, genetics to humans, they can transfer disease to us. Here, have a little more, guys. Spread out a little bit. There. Football. We'll hang out with them for a little bit. They make for a good backdrop. And Maxim Inquisitor, how you doing, buddy? And TH Outdoors says they are hungry. They're hogs. They're pigs. They'll eat until they die. So we kind of ration them a little bit. We give them about a line of feed, basically 2 pails in the morning and 2 pails in the evening. So they get 2 pails a day. Sand Pie, I see you there, 10. How you doing, buddy? Long time no see. I see you. I see you. We finally ran into each other. Since we last saw each other, I shaved off the beard. Although I'm debating growing it back. this whole shaving every day thing, you know, I had a beard for 9 years. I did not shave properly for 9 years. And now this whole daily shaving thing is not for me. I shaved yesterday morning and I'm already kind of growing it back. There's a chance that with my back surgery that's coming up, it's going to be like a good 2 weeks of bed rest, potentially 6 weeks till I'm really out there and giving her. The goal is after 6 weeks to be able to be up and walking around for a half hour at a time. So I figure if I'm going to be lying down and resting a lot, no better time to regrow that beard. I feel so naked without it. I feel so naked without it. You know, I spent 9 years not being able to see my jawline. It's weird to see my face again. I feel so young. Ernie, welcome back, buddy. Winter requires a beard. It does, especially up here in the far north. Those minus 40-degree days, they hit different when you don't have facial hair. It's like wearing a permanent face mask. Makes splitting wood a little bit easier. And 10 says, I'm still 12, about to be 13, and I'm already growing a mustache. I was probably around there as well. And TH Outdoor says, amazing jawline, thank you. When I was 13, the mustache was coming in pretty good. The Italian in me grows a thick Mario mustache. If I shaved everything except the mustache, you know, I could look like a certain type of movie star. But we are just, yeah, hanging out with the pigs, enjoying the sunset, chatting with you guys. So if you guys have any questions, any concerns, any plans for the weekend, feel free to let us hear it. And guys, if you guys ever want to just go check out some super, super calming YouTube content, go over to Ernie's cabin. It just has this kind of old-timey feel. I love his day updates at the cabin. You know, he'll give you those morning sunrises and sunsets and the birds chirping. Go check out Ernie's cabin. It's super relaxing. Always enjoy when I see content out there. It's just got a certain kind of vibe to it that I think everyone can enjoy. And TH Outdoor says, we're probably going to get rabbits tomorrow. There you go. It feels like you've accelerated your timeline. I feel like you were telling me that you were going to get them next month, but already tomorrow. Good job, man. They're a lot of fun. I'm allergic to rabbits, so I'm not as hands-on. Guys, be nice over there. I'm not as hands-on with our rabbits as I am with some of these other animals, but they're good fun. And Derico says, all right, I sub to Ernie's channel. And 10 says, you're lucky that you don't have annoying neighbors. Mine always begs for soap. Your neighbors beg for soap? That feels like a weird thing to beg for. MK Knife Making says, what did you feed your pigs? It's called hog mash. So it is a mix of oats and corn, soy. So there's a lot of soy in it because pigs need a lot of protein. And again, we're not allowed to feed them meat. So they are on that vegetarian diet. And so one thing to note is when you have leftover hog's feed at the end of the year, you don't want to be feeding that to your cows or to your goats because they are not going to be able to tolerate that high protein. But chickens and ducks, they'll gobble it up. So at the end of the season, when I'm left with hog's feed, I just ration it out to the chickens and ducks. And Just a Dude says, howdy. How you doing, dude? Hope you're doing well. And Derico says, are you allergic to cats too? I am. I am allergic to rabbits and cats. I would say I'm more allergic to cats. So with cats, my throat gets scratchy, and if I'm around them too much, like petting them and stuff, I develop a bit of a dry cough. Whereas, and then my eyes get red. With rabbits, my eyes get red. No cough though. No scratchy throat. No difficulty breathing. But I break out in hives with rabbits. So when I'm holding a rabbit, my arms will break out in hives, whereas that doesn't happen with cats. So I'm allergic to both, but it's not the same. And 10 says, do you have a job? I do, but thankfully I manage my own company, and so I got a good team. I got good support. So I'm about to have a back surgery, but as long as I'm checking in on them daily and just staying up to date with the day-to-days and answering emails, it'll be okay if I need to rest in bed for a couple weeks here. Darren Chandler, welcome back to the chat, buddy. How you doing? We are just feeding the pigs, hanging out with the pigs first. Yeah, I think this weekend it's time to measure them up to get a good estimate of their weight. I'm going to put them close to that 190 pounds. Butcher weight is around 200 to 230. So they're getting there. They're getting close. They're getting close. But yeah, they're doing well. They're doing well. And 10 says, well, plays career ladder. Hope you don't have to hold your bladder because it's time for the career ladder. Alrighty then. What I was doing today is I watched a little bit of Beyblade X with my kids the other day. My wife had a doctor's appointment, so while she was at her appointment, I had them come to work with me, and I threw on some Beyblade. And I remember growing up as a kid watching Beyblades, and you know, it was a good nostalgia blast for me. And I have some Beyblades for the kids, and so the last couple days we've just been 3, 2, 1, let her rip. It's a lot of fun. And you know what's sad? We've gotten to a point where I can't beat my kids. They're just better than me. I don't know what it is, but my kids win 9 out of 10 times when we play Beyblades. And Derico says, never heard of that show. It's basically spinning tops. It's an anime. It's like an anime, but you know, you're on a pull cord and little tops spin around and they attack each other, and last one standing wins. Meadow, hi to the UK. We are in northern Canada, and we have a beautiful backdrop. We either are looking at pigs or the lake. So we've got a bit of both today. We're either eyeing up the lake, or right now, because we're with the pigs, I figure, why not showcase the porkers? Why not showcase them? Give them their 20 seconds of fame. Oh, trying to get this tripod back in position to see the pigs. I stand on this side. And MK Knife Making says, what do you feed your goats? So the goats primarily eat grass, hay. So the goats are primarily eating that, and then I feed them what's called dairy ration, but it's basically oats, molasses, a little bit of corn as a treat. Tommy, welcome back, Tommy. And Meadow says, loved Beyblades when I was a kid, LMAO, late 2000s. It was the jam, you know, it was that Sunday morning cartoons when you sit down and you watch Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Digimon, Beyblades, and then if you're up late enough, Dragon Ball Z. That was my go-to as a kid, just running them Saturday morning cartoons. And Derico says, are the baby ducks about to be ready to join the adults? So the plan is tomorrow morning, I'm gonna crack down, I'm gonna finish the chicken coop, and I'm gonna move the ducks in with the ducks tomorrow. So tomorrow it is go time. In fact, tomorrow morning, I will probably introduce them. I might move the adult ducks out into the field and kick the chickens out, and then put the baby ducks into the duck house for the day, and then introduce the other ducks back in towards the evening. So that's kind of the plan. That's kind of the plan. And are those pigs to eat when they are big? Yes. I plan to eat these guys soon enough. I think, so what I'm doing is I'm gifting one of them to my parents, one of them to my in-laws, keeping 2 for our freezer. And so I gotta weigh them tomorrow. I'll measure how big they are, and I'll let the butcher know, and we'll decide about how far away we are. And Mr. Palad says, you need a haircut. It's short. I already got a haircut. It's already short, my man. How can I cut it any shorter? And Tommy says, I think you should keep it, no beard, but you do you. It's your life, just my recommendation. I don't know. I feel so young. I know I look way younger without the beard. I had a beard for 9 years, so I'm thinking about growing it back. And how does the mobile chicken coop look? Is it finished? I could take you over there soon. It's not finished, but it'll be done tomorrow. I got like 2 more hours worth of work. It's pretty dang close. I just need to finish up a couple of things, and then I'm moving the chickens into it. Just a Dude says, matter of fact, I'm gonna see if I can find a good anime. I was watching a little bit of Demon Slayer. It's not bad. It's got really good action. The story's kind of shallow, but it's got good action. And I picked up a little bit of Dr. Stone, which is kind of fun for the first season, and then it just kind of feels a little bit lame, but it's okay. Oh, we got a message held for review. We can show that. I don't know why it doesn't want to show that. Darren asks, do you eat those pigs when they are big? Yes. These are for meat. So what I wanted to do is We breed most of the animals on the homestead here, but I wanted to do pigs, but I didn't want to commit to another winter animal until I knew if I liked them. Up here in northern Canada, when you do a winter animal, you're committing to hauling pails and pails of water every single day. You know, the heated water dishes that keep the water thawed only really work until like -25. And when we get weeks of -40 on end, and like 4 pigs like this, they go through like 100 liters of water a day. You know, we're talking 25 gallons of water a day. So you're going through 5 pails of water a day with pigs. And so, you know, that's a lot to haul in the winter every single day. So I didn't want to commit unless I liked them. And then maybe I can look at doing some more permanent infrastructure for them. But yeah, these guys were a trial run to see if I liked them. I do. Next year, I'll look at getting some winter breeds. So these are called Yorkshire pigs. And next year, I'll look at getting some Berkshires. The Berkshires are similar. They get big fast, but they have dark, thick hair, and they can tolerate the winter. These guys can't survive the winter. So we will look at getting a different breed to do year-round and breed next year. These guys, unfortunately, are going to enter the freezer in the fall. And Just a Dude says, my hair is so long, like I don't even remember the last haircut. And Mr. Palad said, I looked like Obama, just a couple shades lighter, I guess. Well, thank you for saying that I look like the president of the United States. And Tommy says, I don't have facial hair. I'm clean shaven. I think clean shaven looks better, but that's just my opinion. Most of my friends have beards and I don't care. It's their life and their face. You do you is what I say. I mean, I've already got a beautiful wife. I've already got kids. So whether I look good or bad is inconsequential. But, you know, come the winter, a beard does feel nice. When you're spending a lot of time outdoors, not having to put a face warmer on because you got one built in. That's kind of a pro gamer move right there. And Derico says, why do some people keep llamas? What are they good for? Why do some people keep llamas? I believe llamas can be harvested for their hair. People make like llama socks. I would assume that a llama is similar to a donkey. I don't know this, so I'm talking out my butt, but I'm going to assume that a llama is similar to a donkey, that it's a protector animal. Alpaca, that the same as a llama? They're related. And 10 Senpai says, mod rules, only time people out when they're spamming. Ban them for racial stuff. Don't hide messages if they're asking something. You got it, my man. And I don't even mind if anyone says anything that's particularly offensive to me. That's fine. And KK says, hi, I'm new to the channel. Well, hello, KK. We are up here in northern Canada. And we are... Oh, Just a Dude said I was buffering. But, okay, I think he's got it. We are up here in northern Canada, and we are just hanging out with some of our homestead animals. I live off-grid. I've got 156 acres on a peninsula. And Tommy says, I shave religiously 7 days a week. And Just a Dude says, you have it. 10 Senpai with the donation. Am I seeing that right, buddy? I don't know what an IDR means, but I appreciate you. Let me just see where we are. Those pigs look delicious, says Tommy. And Just a Dude says, you have it wrong about llamas. What are you guys doing? You have to harvest their spit. It has magical properties like a unicorn. And IDR, thank you for the donation. 10 Senpai, sorry. 10 Senpai YouTube, thank you. I thought you were a student, my man. You can't be giving me donations. You got to take care of yourself, but I appreciate you. Thank you. And Tommy says, you were buffering a few minutes ago, but you're good now. And Tommy says, those pigs look delicious. Yeah, they're very, very healthy. I think we've done a good job. Our first year taking care of the pigs. And 10 Senpai with the 20,000 Indonesian currency. Senpai, you really don't have to donate, but I appreciate it. Thank you. You are fantastic. Everyone show some love to 10. He's showing some love to the chat. And Derico says, that is a lot of bacon. Yes. We had some friends who had some coon pigs. So one of the things you got to know is that not every pig is the same. Some of these pigs, um, they convert food to meat very well. Others put on a ton of fat. And so a coon is a type of pig that gets really, really fat. And so people will feed them like Yorkshires, and then they'll complain. They'll say their meat is unedible. It's like a thick layer of fat, thin layer of meat. It's because a coon is meant to forage for their food. So they don't convert food to meat in the same ratio. And so you really got to do your homework. Not every animal is the same. I do know some people who will get coons, and they will raise coons specifically for soap, for making soap or candles, because they want that lard, they want that fat. So it's kind of, you got to know what you want and know how to handle it. But everyone show some love for 10 Sandpie YouTube over there. He is being a charmer. And Tommy says, to me, a pig is a pig. They're all the same to me, but he's nice, learning new things, learn something new every day. Derrico says, some people eat pig's feet. I don't know how that works. I know people will feed it to dogs. They love chewing on the hooves and stuff. I don't know how you'd go about chewing on them yourself. You know, the one thing like I'll probably end up doing is if I was butchering them myself, I wasn't going to keep the skin. I wasn't going to keep the rawhide skin. You can make, oh, what do you call it? The chips out of it. 10 Sampai, you're going to get in trouble. Another Indonesian $10,000. Thank you, friend. And Derek goes, you got to save your money, man. You're back to school. And Just a Dude says, fat is the best part of the bacon anyway. And Derrico says, I've had pork rinds like chips. And Tommy says, yeah, I'm good. No pig's feet for me. And I'll pass, but I'll eat the rest of the pig though. And Tommy says, I love pork. Well, 10, I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. It is much appreciated. And I always enjoy when you come on our lives. I know we've been missing each other a lot lately. What time is it for you right now? I know that we haven't been crossing paths because of the school schedule, but I'm glad we are here now. And Just a Dude says, pig's feet is absolutely a thing. I have never had it, but some people eat them. I don't know how it works either, but maybe the meat under the hoof. And Derrico says, dogs like the ears. I probably shouldn't say this, but the last time I butchered rabbits, I tried giving my dog the ears, and she ate them and she chewed on them and she loved them. But normally when I butcher a rabbit, I kind of pull the skin over the head and just kind of tie it up and discard it. And you don't really think about it. But when you go and cut an ear off, you feel like a monster. You feel like a monster. I don't care that my dog likes it. I didn't feel good about that. And 10, Bam Bass 670 Rays says, today is my birthday. Happy birthday to Bam Bass. Happy birthday to Bam Bass. Happy birthday, Bam Bass. And 10 says, almost 9 a.m. because on Saturday and Sunday, I don't have school. I'm glad we could catch each other on the weekend. And Tommy says, I have only had rabbit once. It was delicious. Duck is delicious too. I find that homesteaded duck is really good. And homesteaded rabbit is really good. But I find wild rabbit, not the best. It's good in a pasta. And Sampai, I didn't see him curse. Did he curse? I didn't see him curse. And TH Outdoors says, my dog won't eat rabbit ears. And MK Knife Making says, happy birthday. Just a Dude says, not big on duck myself. It's been bad plenty of time. It's not bad, but plenty of birds I would rather eat. And 10 says, Benson, please don't curse. Why was Tom? I don't know if he did curse, Sampai. You might have. He said, but in. Oh, did he? I missed it. Freshly, welcome back to the chat. How you doing? We are just chilling with the pigs right now while they're having their evening feed. One of the things I do have to do, Matthew, welcome back, buddy. One of the things, I got a couple chores to do tonight. So one was feeding the pigs. I got to go check their water. Two was the ducks. The baby ducks, the Ancona ducks. The Ancona ducks, they're going to move in with the Pekin ducks, the Appleyard ducks, and the Buff Orpington ducks tomorrow. And so tonight I'm going to pull their food and water out from the brooder because they're starting to get too big for the smaller water dish and they're just making a mess. They're spilling it in the brooder. So tonight I will take that out, and then I will move them in with all the other animals in the big water dish tomorrow morning. And Freshly says, what's the most humane way of processing a pig? So the butchers tend to do it. I feel like this is a touchy subject, but you asked. When they go to the butcher, what they tend to do is they tend to hang them up by the legs and bleed them. And so they slit their throat across the jugular. It makes them basically pass out right away and they die. When I would do it, I haven't done one yet. I was going to do them this fall, and my plan was just the 22 caliber rifle to the forehead. So give them a nice last meal and use the rifle to put them down. So yeah, captive bolt. That was kind of the plan. And how do you butcher a rabbit? How much detail do you want knife making? Sometimes these are touchy subjects and I don't want to offend anyone, but I mean, I am a homesteader and this is how we harvest our food. So the way I do a rabbit, the way I end the rabbit's life is through internal dislocation of their neck. And the way you do that is you hold them by their feet, lower them to the ground. You put a piece of wood across the back of their neck, just gently. And in a very quick motion, you step on the wood and pull up. It happens like that and they die immediately. They don't fight you. They don't even know what's going on. And that ends them. Then you take their legs, tie them up to a hanger just to spread them out. Take your knife, carve around the legs, carve down towards the groin area, and then you just peel her down. Skin the rabbit, they say. You just peel it like a sock, pull the skin all the way up until it's their head, and then you just kind of got to pull their legs out of the skin. Cut off the head. It's already severed. You've already dislocated it, so it's just going to sever off easy. And then from there, cut from the sternum down. Guys, settle. Cut from the sternum down. That's going to open them up, pull the guts out. Whoop, gone. And I don't even separate the meat. I leave the meat on because what I do is I will slow cook a rabbit whole in a little bit of soup brine. So I'll take a crock pot in the oven, put a little bit of soup brine in there, some herbs and spices, maybe some lemon, some rosemary. Put the whole rabbit in there and I'll slow cook that. Tons of recipes online. And then when I'm done, the meat will mostly just pull off the bone. That will be supper. And then what's left on the bone is going to then continue to slow cook for a soup stock. And so you'll get 2 meals out of 1 rabbit. That is, that's how I do it. Pretty straightforward. Yeah. And J Hook Lab says, cross your eyes and give your best Asian accent. My friend, I am nowhere near famous enough to be able to pull that off. At this point, that's called cancel culture, and I ain't gonna get canceled. And Derek asked if I made rabbit soup. Exactly. That's what we do with the rest of the rabbit. And Derrico says, I bet it's good eating. Yes, Homestead rabbit is really good. It's like the dark meat of a chicken. Super tender, super juicy. Because mine are, raised very well. And we eat them when they're still young. They're about 5 pounds when they're at processing. So you get about, you probably get about 2 pounds of meat off of a rabbit. And so, yeah, you process them at about 5 pounds. You're gonna get about 2 pounds of meat, and then you're gonna use the bones and whatever meat is still on there as a soup stock. So super good, super good. Throw in some potatoes, a little bit of hot sauce. You have yourself a delicious meal. Yesterday on the live stream, we got on for about an hour, and we did a mushroom foraging, a forage, catch, and cook. And so we went out in the woods, we found some lobster mushrooms, and we harvested those, brought them inside. I showed you guys how we cleaned those up. We diced them up and we ate them. And then I saved some and had them for dinner with my boys today. It's a great time of year. I love this time of year. We're coming into mushrooms. We're about to harvest animals. Just a very abundant, it makes you very thankful for life. And Just a Dude says, It's not a good survival food though, not on its own. Most protein you actually can't survive on protein alone. You do need to mix in other things, but that's where, you know, just having some basic survival skills will help. You know, for example, hope I'm not wrong, but like we've got some choke cherries on this tree here. They're starting to go bad, but you know, you got some choke cherries here, edible berries, pine needles, cedar leaves, a lot of leaves off of coniferous trees, needly trees. You're gonna wanna steam that. And Tommy, welcome back. I think that 10 thought that you said ASS. I don't know if you did or didn't. I didn't see it, but I think he thought you were swearing. Tommy, you're all good. Sorry about that. And Mrs. Army says, how old are your boys? My boys are 8, 6, 4, 2, 0. They're all 2 years apart, evenly spaced. Evenly spaced. And EH says, can you do a Canadian accent? Have a go, eh? I am Canadian, my friend. I am Canadian. This is my Canadian accent. I'm from Northern Canada, up near Hudson's Bay, and I do hear lots. A lot of people, when they think of a Canadian accent, they're thinking of like an Albertan accent. You know, they're thinking about the, hey there, how about that? What you guys think about that beaver? I don't know. Fun fact, Canadians from where I'm from are often picked for broadcasting and for radio announcing because we have a very neutral accent. We have a very neutral accent. And so, yeah, this is my Canadian accent. I really can't do much else. When I try to make a Canadian accent, I tend to come off a little native. First Nations, I have a hard time doing an Albertan accent. And sorry, Tommy. I don't really find it offensive, especially I'll asterisk there. 10 Senpai and other mods. If someone lets out a benign cuss, not at someone and not intentionally, like sometimes people say swear words not to be mean. I sometimes get caught doing it. We don't need to time them out for that. We could just let them know to try to keep it PG if we got a PG crowd. But we don't have to time them out if no one's being mean about it, if it's not said in any anger or hate. It's all about intent. And EH says, I've been asking random channels this for the last 10 minutes and I want to hear it. No way, eh? Yeah, it is neutral. I'm from Vancouver. Let it rip. And speaking of let it rip, we were talking about Beyblades earlier. Fun fact. And EH says, nice pigs. Just a Dude says, I'm having fish for supper and mac and cheese. I was thinking about taking my boys out tomorrow on the lake to go do some fishing. And so maybe tomorrow we will have some fresh fish as well. I haven't gone fishing all summer. I was fishing lots in the spring. We did some fishing live streams. And yeah, I just haven't done it all summer. So I think it's a good time to get out there, get the boys out there and catch us some dinner. And Tommy says, I normally don't curse. I apologize. It was just the A word. It won't happen again. You're all good, Tommy. And Just a Dude says, you're good, Tommy. I think it was a misunderstanding. Tommy says, you sound like a typical white American. No offense. If you told me you were American, I'd believe it. That's what we get, like us Northern Canadian boys from Ontario. It's mostly us Ontario people. We have a very neutral accent. So yeah. And MK Knife Making says, catch them big fish. Derico says, sheep would be cool to have. We almost had sheep at one point. Derico says, you promised to take me fishing. Don't tell my wife, but she's planning to take the kids to a birthday party midday tomorrow. If you join me around 11 p.m. Central, if we go around 11 p.m. Central, we can get out on that lake. We can go fishing together. We'll try for 11 p.m. Central. And sheep, we almost had sheep. We had someone offering them to us, but we ended up getting the goats instead. And we kind of have a general rule. We don't want to take on more than we can chew at once. Sometimes we do. Sometimes things fall in our laps, like the chickens. We had no intent of getting chickens, and then we got a whole whack of chickens. But we try not to intentionally take on more than we can chew, just so that all the animals maintain a high quality of life. I don't want to take on more than I understand and then have anyone get neglected. And 10 Sampai says, I just ordered Burger King and it's my favorite burger. Nice. A lot of people around here love Burger King. Where I live, the closest town is about an hour away, and it's only got a McDonald's, no Burger King. There's one town that's like 6 hours away or so that has a Burger King. A lot of people get Burger King every time they go there. And Derico says a stream on the water would be really cool. Just a Dude says, my dad went to Canada when he was in the military, and he said Canadian military was very professional. Tommy Benson says, so please explain to us non-Canadians, where does the stereotypical accent come from? I want to say the stereotypical accent is like an Albertan accent. That like hockey boy accent, like you're thinking like Edmonton, like the Edmonton Oilers. Yeah, it's like an Edmonton accent. And Derico says, yes, we are going fishing. Mrs. Army says, have your kids started school yet? My kids are actually homeschooled. And so we just bought next year's homeschool curriculum. And so we're doing a curriculum that is it's a little newer age. Basically what it does is you pick a subject that you're really interested. So let's say astronomy or herbology or biology, and you'll get the like grade 1, let's say grade 1, English, math, science, reading, writing about, say, biology. And so each of the kids, they kind of pick a couple subjects in like that they're interested in, and then they get to learn every subject about that subject. Does that make sense? So yeah, up here in Ontario where I live, there are no subsidies for homeschooling, so it's all out of pocket, which kind of sucks. So, but you're able to reuse the content for your further down kids. So like my oldest, in a couple of years, then my one that's 2 years younger will be doing his, and et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah, it's expensive. It costs me about $1,000 a year, maybe altogether $1,500 a year to teach my own kids homeschool. And Matthew says they must know French. Actually, je parle petit français. Because I don't speak a lot of French, I'm not teaching my kids French. Instead, they're learning sign language, ASL. They're going to learn sign language instead because it's easier for me to learn and then teach sign language to my boys than for me to learn how to speak Francais. So instead, we are just going to work on teaching them sign language. That's their second language. That's their second language. And 10, take care, man. Have a good day, and thank you for the donations. I appreciate you. You are a rock star, and we will talk again soon. And EH says, that's amazing. Tommy says, I'm from Philadelphia, and it is 9:10 p.m. You are 1 hour away from me. It is 8:12 for me. And Mrs. Army says, wow. Yes, that's the way we're doing homeschooling. Teach them subjects they're interested in. And you know what? The curriculum's really good. The kids are fantastic. They're all also doing piano for music. My oldest son, he's 8, is getting quite good. I mean, I'm going to be biased because I'm his parent, but he's working on some Beethoven right now. I just completed one of Beethoven's early like more easier songs, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. And summer is almost over. Don't remind me, just a dude. There's still too much to do and not enough time. Lily, hi Lily. Did you want to come say hi to your friends? Hi Lily, sit. Lily, sit. Oh, good girl, Lily. Good girl. Can we get some hearts in the chat for Lily? Hello, Lily. And Matthew says it is 21:13 here. That is 9:13 here too. And EH says, wish you the best. Thanks for sharing, brother. Take care, EH. Thanks for hopping in and joining. Thanks for saying hi. And Darlene, how you doing, Darlene? We're just hanging out with the pigs right now. Your favorite animal. And Derico, did Lily quit running to the road? I've just been tying her up. Every time we have to leave, we've been chaining her up because I don't trust her now. She loves us too much. That's the problem. Lily, you love too much. And so she chases the car down the road, and if you don't notice her, she ends up on the highway, and I don't want her to get hit or, you know, stolen. So she's got to get chained up when we're gone. And Mrs. Army says, thank you for sharing. How is your back today? I'm feeling decent, actually. My leg's still numb, but I think I'm slowly getting the feeling back in it. Pretty sore on the top part of my leg, but I do have a surgery booked for the 26th. So they're going to do what's called a discectomy, where they're going to cut out some of the disc that's between the vertebrae to stop it from pinching on that L5 nerve, and to hopefully make it fit within the vertebrae better so that it bulges less frequently. I'm going to call it a minor operation with a long recovery. We're talking 2 to 6 weeks to get back to light duty, and like 3 to 6 months for heavy duty. So we're going to be laid up for a while, but you know what? We bought the skid steer. That does most of our heavy lifting now. And so it is what it is. Hopefully it is a quick road to recovery and overall improved quality of life. Derico says, Lily is living the dream there on the farm. She is, and she loves chasing mice and snakes. I have a video that I'll post when I get laid up here, once I have this surgery and I'm lying in bed more. I've got a bunch of long form videos I've been working on, and so we're gonna finally go through and edit those and post them. But I got one of her chasing and fighting with a snake for like 5 minutes. She's just having a battle with this dang snake. And the snakes up here are not poisonous or venomous, and so I'm not worried about her safety. And I mean, she's just playing. She's not trying to hurt the snake, but it's quite the interesting video. And Tommy says, I love music. I play multiple musical instruments. I play guitar, banjo, drums, trumpet, and piano. My favorite band is the Rolling Stones, and Mick Jagger and Keith Richards are the GOATs. That's awesome, man. I grew up playing the drums, so I played a lot of drums. My wife was a singer. We played in a couple bands and had a lot of good times. One of my musical highlights is I got to play for a little while with the recording pianist for Rush. So not the guy who goes on stage, but the guy who records their albums in the studio. I got to play drums with him in a band for a while. It was a lot of fun. He was really good, like really good. And Matthew says, I love Pink Floyd. And Derico says, how is Lily? Lily's doing fantastic. Callie Chickens and Barbie, how you guys doing? Tommy says, what are some of your favorite bands? And guys, go check out Barbie Vlogs. She is out there live streaming daily, pretty well, Monday through Saturday. So go check her out. And Tommy says, what are some of your favorite bands? I mean, when I was playing drums, I was really into the Red Hot Chili Peppers. 3 Doors Down, you know, Rush, AC/DC, Metallica, a lot of that stuff. Nowadays, I'm listening to some more chill vibes. I don't know. I don't even know if I say Linkin Park. You know what? Crazy to the controversy, I even like their new stuff. The Rolling Stones are classics. You can never go wrong with the Rolling Stones. One of the top bands of the world, so it's kind of hard not to like them. And MK Knife Making says, one time I was holding a snake and it stunk so bad. Garter snakes, which is the snakes we have here, their defense mechanism is they release a stink spray. And so they actually release some stank juice. Fun fact. So you generally, when you try to pick up a garter snake, your hand's gonna stink pretty bad. And Derico says, all great bands. Snakes stink. Some of them do. That is a defense mechanism that snakes have. Some of them let off some stink spray. That is a fun fact for y'all. We are going to say goodbye to the pigs because we got to go do some chores over by the ducks. So everyone, let's just say goodbye to the pigs. You guys stay classy, okay? I'm going to give you guys each a little head scratch, whoever lets me. Who wants a head scratch? Do you want a head scratch, buddy? Hi. You? Hi. Big guy. Oh, I can't reach you because I'm not touching the electric fence, but you. Have a good night, Porker. Let's button this up and go say hi to the other animals. We're just going to We're gonna put our tarp back over the hog's feed so that it doesn't go bad. Let's just tarp this back up quick. Now we'll just throw a shovel on here to keep the wind from blowing that off. Okay, let's go see some ducks. I mean, as I walk by, I'm going to check on their water, see how high their water level is, see if I need to give them more water tonight. We also got to go check on Gabby because we moved her to a different field. See if she wants to come back. The pigs are going to need water tomorrow. You know what? I'll do it tonight. I'll do it tonight. We're here right now. We're going to get the pigs water. I just got to haul the hose over here. It's low enough that we can refill it. And Tommy says, I did not know that. I think the stink spray, I don't think of I think of skunks, not snakes. Good to know. See, I said it earlier and I'll say it again. You learn something new every day. You do, you do. Oh, and you see skunks around the farm? Yeah, Lily got sprayed last year. They usually come out more in the fall. You don't see them as often in the spring. It's more when they're kind of getting ready to burrow down for the winter. They tend to come out a little more. Okay, we got to go turn the water on. Lily, you saying hi to the ducks too? Mommy left the light on in there. I should turn it off. Just burning power. We live off grid, so we got to be extra wise about our power consumption. Okay. Hey, love, are you over there? You're not responding, so I'm going to say no. And Falcon says, what do today? How's it going, buddy? We are just about to give the pigs some water. We just got to run over to the hydrant and turn it on. And yeah, we're just enjoying that sunset. We are just hanging out on the homestead and we're just chilling. One of our subscribers, 10 Sampai, gave us a total a $2.75 donation. So shout out to him. Thank you. That was much appreciated. He is from Indonesia. And yeah, so we were just hanging out. We were having a good hangout with the pigs. And now we got the goats over here. We're going to refill the pigs' water, and then we got to hang out with the ducks for a little bit because we got to do a little bit of work with them. They are about to move in with the other ducks tomorrow. Oh, so let's grab this hose and drag it over. Oh, it is happening tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, we're going to kick the ducks and chickens out. We're going to move these guys in the morning. Get them used to it. Oh, I've got everything we need, babe. And so we'll get those ducks moved over tomorrow. And the goats follow you. They do. They're like puppies. They are really like puppies. And the pigs are waiting for their water. They know I'm coming with the fresh hose of water. And they are here for it. They are waiting. Oh, let's just drag this bad boy over. And I mean, Lily's a dog as well. She knows I'm running back and forth, so she is too. And are you milking the goats? I want to say my wife already milked them for the night, so I don't think we need to milk any goats tonight. I think that chore has been done. Okay, let's hope that stays there. Hey, piggy, piggy, piggy. Hi, big guy. You guys want me to make you some fresh mud? Here, guys. Here's some fresh mud. Don't drink the mud, drink your water. That's not for you to drink, it's for you to play in. Pigs, I tells you. Guys, they're probably really thirsty because they were just eating, and it's quicker for them to It's quicker for them to drink this water than it is to wait and fight over the spigots. That guy's smart. That one knows that he can get water from the drum. These guys are like, ooh, fresh water. Okay, okay. Drink from your drum, guys. They'll figure it out soon enough. Wonder why they like the mud. I think it's just, well, they like the mud because it cools them down and it gives them like sunscreen and it just feels nice to rub in. But right now they're like drinking it because they just ate a ton of food and are thirsty, and it's faster to drink the mud than it is to drink from the drum. So I think that's why they're just sucking back the mud water. So here they are. And Peter says, hey guys, it's the weekend. What's up, Peter? Tomorrow around I think around 11 a.m. Central Time, we're going fishing. And I'm going to be thinking about you out there. I'm thinking I'm going to go, don't tell my wife because I haven't told her, but I think we're going to go out on the lake. We're going to get out there fishing. And Zolfi says, do they play in the mud? They do. Like, look at all, this is all mud they've made. They've all just, you can see where they've been lying down right there and there, where they lie down and roll around. And brother, where are you from? We are from Northern Canada. Welcome to Northern Canada. And Peter says, how many male pigs and females? There are 3 males and 1 female, but the boys are all castrated. These guys are going to be going to the butcher. We're not breeding these guys. Next year, I plan to get an intact male and 2 intact females, and I plan to breed them next year. And Paul says, what lake do you fish on? We'll be fishing right out here, right out in my bay. I can't give you the name of the lake because I'm the only guy who lives out here, and so if I give you the name of the lake, you'll be able to find where I live, which is a little weird. So it's my own little private oasis. And sorry guys, uneven ground. I'm trying to find a nice spot for that tripod. Ba, ba, ba. And Jill, welcome back, Jill. Jill says, so glad to catch up with you live. Happy Friday. Jill, happy Friday to you as well. Thanks for stopping in and thank you for saying hi. Peter says, time for a pig roast with the church family next. We will have to. You know what? I was thinking when we do breeding pigs, I'm thinking maybe next year when we're breeding pigs, we will do a pig roast when they're closer to like 70, 80 pounds. These guys are like 190 pounds. These guys are big, 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 big. Paul asks, how big is that lake? It's actually quite big. So this part of the lake here that we're looking at, this is just a bay. This is just a bay. This is just my private bay. But the lake itself goes around to the south side of my property, all the way down past the other end of my property. Like we're on a peninsula, right? So the lake wraps all the way around and then it goes south for a long time. It's a really big body of water. I can't give you specifics, but it's a lot of lake. You can get lost out there. And Zulfi says, what a beautiful location, brother. Thank you. And Falcon says, poor piggies. I know, but they've had a good life. Better than most. Most people would have kept them penned up in a small area. These guys have been living in half an acre of forest. They've had a lot of attention, a lot of good treats, a lot of good food. I'm a little south of Hudson's Bay, but this isn't Hudson's Bay itself. Hudson's Bay is just north of here, and that's the ocean, man. That's a big body of water. And Peter says, okay, here's the next question. Since you're obviously in Alaska, how far are you from Sarah Palin? We're actually in northern Ontario. We are in Ontario towards Hudson's Bay. Yeah. Is Sarah Palin in Alaska? I didn't even know that. And Matthew says, I missed your last comment. Matthew had said, did you use your elastics to castrate them? These guys were already castrated from the farmer I bought them from. Typically when you're buying pigs, unless you specifically request one not castrated, they castrate them basically right away, like right when they are born. because what happens is they breed so young and so fast that if you don't castrate them, they will breed with their siblings. And so, I mean, you could have a real problem, right? You got to control breeding with pigs because they breed. They'll have litters of 12 to 20, and so typically the farmers will castrate them immediately. And so, you have to find someone ahead of time who is willing to keep you a pig that is uncastrated, a boar. It's pretty hard to find. Pretty hard to find. And Zolfi says, "What else do you have except those piggies?" Well, of course we have Lily, who's over there. But I'm about to take over to some ducks, and I have lots of goats. And right now I've got one cow. I've had a few, but I've got one right now who's pregnant, and I'm getting two more in another month or two. And what is the worst storm you've had there? I've only been on this property for 2 years. We have had some tornado warnings. We've had some very big storms. But I've been super, super blessed that my property's been protected. You know, we've had some where you're worried that the barn is going to fall over. Just a couple weeks ago, my solar panels got knocked over. And so I had to rewire and rebuild those, which was a pain in the butt. Thankfully, the panels themselves didn't break, just the stands that they're on broke. But yeah, we've been super fortunate. I mean, there's been years where we've had dumps of like 4 feet of snow. But yeah, while I've been here, we've been super fortunate. There was one farm that's close to here. The roof blew off of their silage tower, their silage silo. So we do get some big storms. And Peter says, Derek goes, sorry, bull sharks are in the ocean, not in a Canadian lake. And Jill says, Rocky Mountain oysters is delicious. Served my friends in Utah, delicious. My bull, when I castrated my bull, I did save some oysters. I haven't eaten them yet. They're somewhere in the freezer. But I do plan to cook them up one day. You know, waste not, want not. When I need a little bit more libido, when I'm feeling a little bit down in the bedroom, I'm going to eat some oysters and rejuvenate my manhood. Maybe that's how I'll regrow my beard. Maybe I need to regrow the beard by eating some Rocky Mountain oysters. Get that testosterone. How you guys doing, piggies? And bull sharks have been known to go into lakes from oceans, but only the lakes that are connected to the oceans. All the lakes here are inland, south of Hudson's Bay. And Peter says, Derrico, not in that area, highly doubt it. And Jill Smith says, good eating. Zolfi says, so winter is going to start at you, bro? Yeah, we've already started getting our wood together, but we got to do a better job. But I'm about to get knocked out here for a little bit. I got to have a back surgery at the end of the month. So we have some of our wood ready for the winter, but we got to cut a lot more wood than that. I've got about 2 cords of wood. So a cord of wood, C-O-R-D, a cord of wood is 4 feet wide, 4 feet tall, 8 feet long. I go through about 10 cords of wood for a winter. I got about 2 cords cut. So I got a lot of cutting to do. And Peter says, do you have an ATV or a motorcycle or just only the boys? I used to have a motorcycle. I sold my sports bike when my oldest son was around 1 year old. It wasn't a very practical form of transportation, and there's risks involved. So once you start having kids, I put that on the shelf for now. I do have an ATV, although I got to change the fuel pump on it sooner rather than later, because she's broke down by the lake over here. And Austin, how you doing, buddy? We got the pigs over here. Taz, how you doing, Taz? Welcome back to the chat. Derrico says, you got any apples or cherries on your land? Not that I've found, but I think as I slowly reclaim this forest, I won't be surprised if I have any on the property. Matthew says, did you hear about the guy who was addicted to Viagra? Yeah, apparently his wife was taking it very hard. Yeah, that's related to the prairie oysters joke. I got you, Matthew. We're almost full on this drum. The pigs are just happy in the mud. This guy's just cooling his butt down. Chilling. Just chilling. And Zolfi says, my goodness. So how do you manage cutting the woods, bro? Well, first, the pigs have done an awesome job just clearing this section of forest, thinning it out, but it's a lot of chainsawing. You know, cut the trees down with the chainsaw, drag them out with the skid steer. Drag them out with the machine. And then, yeah, the goal here is get the wood up on the forks, lift it up so that I don't have to bend over, cut it at standing height. And then I've got a log splitter. Last year I did most of my wood by axe, by hand, but I think we'll do a lot of it with the log splitter so that the wife and kids can help this year. And sorry, we're just staying close to this drum while we refill it. Matthew says, I've always hated it when older people will nudge me at a wedding saying, you're next. So I've started saying the same at funerals. Oh, snap. Matthew's just throwing out the dad jokes right now. And Peter Snyder said, are you going to raise strawberries next year for jams? So I'm growing some elderberry so I can make some elderberry jam. I do have a lot of wild strawberries, although wild strawberries are really small. They're really small, and so they're not very practical to harvest for jams because you got to pick so dang many. But they're really good to eat. Next year, I do plan to do a proper garden. I'll probably do some blueberry bushes. I don't know if I'll do strawberries or not. I'll have to think about it. And Derico says, what do you call a deaf gynecologist? A lip reader. We're getting edgy. Matthew says, how do you call a flooded hospital? Vegetable soup. Paul says, do the pigs get bitten up by mosquitoes or ticks? And how's the cow who tried jumping to the moon? Man, so my cow, she's doing good today. We'll go check on her, but I'll show you guys as this is almost done. My cow decided to try to jump the steel gate, and she got stuck halfway on it, and it was like under her ribs, and she was having a hard time breathing. And so I had to get under her and lift her front legs up and back her up so she could hop away. But it was actually kind of scary. I was thinking I might have to grab the skid steer and try to lift her from back and throw her over the fence because I didn't want her, she's pregnant right now, so I didn't want the baby getting squished. And then B, I didn't want her to like break a rib or suffocate. So it was a pretty gotta get this taken care of quick moment. That's life on a homestead. Larry says, how many times did you have COVID? I know of at least one. But I mean, after a while, people just stop checking or caring and counting. And if you caught it once and survived, you generally just figured, I'm good. Okay, water is done. So we'll bring the hose back over towards the ducks. And let's go see the ducks. We got to go check on our duckies. My wife wants me to take their food and water out for the night because they're now big enough that A, they don't need it overnight, and C, they just make an absolute mess. Tomorrow they are moving into the duck log cabin. So tomorrow the baby ducks are moving in here and the chickens are gonna move into their hutch. We're gonna get the chickens out of here and put the ducks in. There's one chicken who needs to go in. Hi, goaties. Hi, everyone. I'll be with you guys soon. But first, let's come in here. So, my wife wanted me to come in here and just, let's say hi to these guys. Let's say hi to the ducks for a second. So these are our Ancona ducks. Let me spin you guys around. Zoom you back out. So these guys are big enough now to go in with our other ducks. And so it's time to take their water out of here. Oh, the water's already, my wife emptied it anyway. So we'll take their water out. And we're going to take their food out because we don't want them to choke. We'll just set this down in here for now. And then tomorrow, these guys will move in with the other ducks. So here they are. And then what I'll do is in the morning, I will move them into the duck log cabin. and then when no one else is in there, so that they can get used to the space. Did I build this? Yes, everything here I built. And so they're gonna move out of here and into the log cabin with the other ducks. What I'll do is in the morning, I'll move the other ducks and the chickens out of the log cabin. I'll put these guys in. I'll give them the day to get used to the space. And then I will, for the evening, I'll bring the other ducks back in with them. And I will monitor them. I'll spend time with them and make sure they're getting along well. And if everything's going smooth and everyone's getting along, then yay, they are new friends. They are new buddies. They get to live together forever. These are all Ancona ducks. They are a very special breed. I call them the cow duck because they're spotted, and each one has a different pattern. You see some of them have the more black spots on their beaks. Some of them it's on their feet. Some of them all over their body. They're a very cool duck. Very cool duck. And Zolfi had said, sorry, I missed this one. Peter said, what do you call a blonde on a typewriter? Whiteout is a blonde on a typewriter. And Derico says, I guess you'd have to check Lily for ticks often. Honestly, I give her a pill from the vet. I give her a tick pill, and then, yeah. Basically, the tick pill makes their... Lily, stop eating the duck food. The tick pill makes her blood poisonous to ticks, so when they eat her, they die and fall off. And then I don't have to worry about it. And the pigs, I've never seen any ticks on the pigs. I don't know if their hide is too thick for ticks. I know they'll eat them. They'll eat ticks. And so will the ducks and chickens. And I let the chickens in with the pigs as well during the day. Zolfi says, you know, I export used Japanese vehicles around the globe. And we had some kind of bobcat, which you have in your field. Mine is a Gale. The skid steer, my skid steer is called a Gale. A Gale RT 105. And Derico says, I'm so excited for the ducks to move out of there. Peter says, the ducks are like the Jeffersons. They're moving on up. Taz says, we had our chicks in our loft. Derico says, they are a tight knit of ducks. That's why I love ducks. They all stick together. They get along really well. They don't fight like chickens. You know, they do establish a pecking order, but that's basically just who's the lead duck. And then the lead duck, everyone else just follows them. Yeah, the ducks are great. They're a lot of fun. I really like the ducks. They're my wife's favorite animal, I want to say. But mine's the goats. The goats are my homeboys. But yeah, we're going to move on to go check out the other animals. So I'm going to let you guys go. You guys have a good night. And tomorrow you guys get to move into the log cabin. Speaking of log cabin, let's go check on the log cabin. Goats! Hello, friends. Hello, everybody. Hello. Hi, Faye. Everyone is just so friendly. Hi. So, a reminder for those who are here know, and for those who don't know, we've got Faye, Orion, Elsa, Evie, Noe, Bast, Mimi, Maple, and Oreo. That is the roundup of goats. There are 9 of them right now. 9 in total. And this girl's the oldest. She's got the biggest horns. You can tell. So these are different species of goats. So the size does not necessarily mean the age. Hey. Be nice, Faye. The size of the goat does not necessarily mean the age. For example, she is the youngest, even though she is bigger than him. But that's because she is an Alpine Toggenburg. She's her baby. She's a full-size goat. Where the one way you can tell more who is oldest, you can tell the age based on the length of the horns. Their horns continue to grow. So she is 4 years old. She is 3 years old. She is 2 years old. She is like 7 months old. Noe over there, about a year old. She's only like 3 months old, and he's about 4 months old. And so that's you could tell a goat's age by the length of their horns. I mean, it's not going to tell you how old they are, but you can tell which ones are older. And Faye's out here just stalking everybody. Look at her. She's just chasing everyone down. She's like, yo, just remember, I'm the queen. I'm the big girl. How you doing, Oreo? Oreo's just a happy mama. And Oreo is the lone wolf. It's because she's smart. She knows Faye throws headbutts. So she just stays away from Faye. And I found a little brown bat at work. He was snoozing on the wall. Bats are really cute. You know, I don't know why, but as a kid, you know, you're afraid of bats. But bats are really cute. They've got a certain charm to them. And Peter says, does any of the goats ever get into fights? Yeah, I mean, Faye just chased Oreo down out of nowhere. Faye just walks around reminding everyone that she's the queen. She is the alpha. Everyone else gets along pretty well. She'll throw the odd headbutt, Mimi. She's second in command. She's the second biggest. Hey, Bast. Hi, buddy. Basty boy. They're really like dogs. I even keep collars on them. But Faye's just walking around here, you know, staring everyone down. The only one who's safe, Maple. See, I just gave her a heads up. I protected you, Maple. You remember that. I saved your life. The only one she doesn't go after is Elsa, because that's her baby. So Elsa's safe. And Jill says, my fave is Bast. We bottle fed Bast. Bast was, he was born in the winter, and so we had to bottle feed him. He's a little stud. Look at his hairdo. He's a little stud. He's a good guy. He's a good goat. He's a good goat. Evie, she's really nice too. Evie. Hi, girl. Come here, Evie. Come on. Evie, come over. Are you keeping an eye on Faye? You're like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm minding my own business over here, guys. Don't headbutt me. And Faye's just like, who's next? Faye. Come here, Faye. Come on. Come say hi. Someone come to me. You guys got to, I'm trying to show people you're like dogs. You know how to come. Hey, girl. Oh, you don't want my attention anymore. Lonely, I'm Mr. Lonely. Hey, girl. You come to say hi? Bast wants to stay close. Bast is my boy. Bast, so this is Bast's father, and this is Bast. And they are pygmy goat mixed with silky goat. So that's why they got this long fur, this long hair. It's because they got a little bit of silky goat in them. Matthew says, can they fight off a coyote if they are attacked? They can fight off one, maybe two, but not a herd. They're not going to fight off a pack of coyotes. But an individual coyote, for sure. I think they'd be okay. Peter says, do you have a salt block for your cow? I do. Let's go say hi to Gabby and I'll show you her salt block. I'm currently putting up this roofing over here. I got to add some more screws, but it's coming along. Then I got to finish up there. But I need to build a ladder from under here. I need to crib underneath this roof so it takes the sag out. But here's 2 salt blocks. I got one there and one there. And here's Gabby. Hi, Gabby. So Gabby tried to jump over this fence, and you can see it's a little bit bent. The fence is actually a little bent after she did that. It's got a little bit of a bow to it, but she got stuck right here. She tried to jump over the fence and got stuck halfway, and I had to lift her off of it. Silly girl. Silly girl. And Matthew asked, do you eat chicken feet? I don't. I haven't eaten the chicken's feet. I always toss them, but you can. You can. They are edible, I guess. People do it. Justy Dude says, I've never seen one, bats I mean, because a problem, I wouldn't touch one just to be sure. Any mammals can potentially pass disease on to us. Yeah, I mean, bats can carry disease. They certainly can. They're basically the mouse of the sky. You know, bats can be in massive herds, and they're good at surviving in dirty environments, and so they can pass on disease for sure. Faye is spicy tonight. I know, and now she wants my attention. She's like, she doesn't want anyone coming near me, but she wants to stand close. She's like, here, Faye, let me scratch that itch for you. Let me scratch that itch for you. She's like a dog. She's like, yeah, that's the spot. Yeah, right there. There you go. Is that good? Oh, we got our friend Evie back. Evie's right here. Evie, I'll scratch your itch too. Evie and Maple, sorry. Well, there's Maple. But Evie is probably the most aesthetic goat I have. Like, I really like the color pattern on her face. That nice rich brown, just the striping. Oh, these guys are getting into it a little bit. Goat fight. Noe here likes to chew on me. She likes to walk up to me and bite my pant legs. What are you doing? What are you doing, Noe? You're acting like a goof. Everyone's so itchy tonight. Why are you guys so itchy? I think my wife put some diatomaceous earth on them. So diatomaceous earth is just a type of soil. It's a type of silty sand soil that is very, very dry, and it stops any mites or ticks or bugs or anything from living on the animals. And so it's good to dust their straw, dust the barn with it. And sometimes if you do know you've got some lice or mites or anything, dust the animals with it, and it kills them off. But I'm guessing my wife gave them some because they're all super itchy today. So I'm thinking my wife probably doused them with a little bit of diatomaceous earth. Can we visit the rabbits, TH Outdoors? Yes, we can. And Matthew says, crush fossil flower. Let's see, we got to go in to see these guys. We're just going to see these two right now. We're not going to bug the other ones. Well, actually, you know what? I lied. Maybe we will go check out the babies because I got some baby rabbits that are now, what, 2 weeks old? It's Faye. Hi, this is Simba. Hi, Simba. And there is Fluffy. So we got Fluffy and Simba over here. Just the dude said, chicken's feet sounds awful to eat. And MK Knife Making said, Lawnmower 3000. The goats. They are the Lawnmower 3000. And so these guys are eating rabbit pellets, and you can see some straw and stuff thrown in here. And then we also throw in some fresh vegetables in here every once in a while. Every 2 weeks, I collect all the expired food from my grocery store, so I also feed them that. So like celery, broccoli, they all love broccoli, strawberries, blueberries, you know, all the goodies. Now, we're going to go over and we're going to check out the baby rabbits because I have some rabbits that are about 2 weeks old. First, we'll go see if that lone chicken is in yet or if he needs help getting into the enclosure because we had one chicken that was outside of it. So you guys try to stay over here because it's really hard. Whoa, you almost ran me over, girl. Really hard to put the chickens away when the goats want to get in. I think the goats are all going to follow me because they love me too much. But let's go see if we can see if that lone chicken is still in here. The Waddle Inn. Let's see, is this lone chicken still in there? No, I think that's him up there. I think he went up high. He's up on the roof. Generally, when they go up on the roof like that, I leave them there for the night because right now I have a little opening right here that they can get in. I'm gonna seal that up tomorrow, but for tonight, if they want to go in, they can. They are able. But if they're happy up there, I'm happy up there. Peter says, I notice you don't really have to that many dandelions on your property. You're right, we actually don't. And that's a good observation. We have a ton of wildflowers. And I don't know if that has to do with, we'll let Gabby in. She wants to come in. I don't know if that has to do with the cows and the goats. Maybe they eat them really fast. Or maybe it's just the composition of the hay in my fields. But you're right. There are no dandelions. I mean, these are not dandelions. You are absolutely right. I never really thought about that. Because dandelions are everywhere. But not here. But Gabby looks like she wants in. So we're going to let her in so she can go sleep in the barn. My wife was thinking she might want to sleep in the field tonight. But she's standing right here. So let me just open up the gate. Goats, hey. So I want the goats to stay and I want Gabby to come. Gabby, Evie, stay. I don't want you going out there. This is hard, guys. Come on, Gabby. Nope, 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 nope. Okay, I lost 2 of them. Come on, Gabby. I'll get the goats in afterwards. Come on, Gabby. Come on, Gabby. I don't want you to try to jump the fence and get hurt again. Come on, Gabby. Gabby. Now Gabby doesn't want to come because I just let all the goats out. Come on, Gab. Good girl. Good girl. Don't run me over, though. I let you in. I was nice. You get some stuff on your head. You get some thistles on you. Okay, we're going to call everyone back in with some grain. We're going to give them all a little treat to get them all back in for the night. And Tired Redneck was timed out for a day. What did he say, guys? I missed it. Give me a summary of what he said in polite terms. Was he trolling? Was that a troll? Did I miss the troll? We're going to give everyone a little bit of grain to trick them all to come in for the night. Okay, maybe we'll cheat because my grain is buried under some stuff. My grain is underneath that hay bale, and I don't want to have to lift all the hay out. So we're going to give them all some rabbit food because they all love the rabbit food. Okay, we're going to give everyone some rabbit food to trick them all to come in for the night. Goats! Come on, everyone! Here, Gabby. Come on, guys! Come on, everyone! Okay, now we gotta go close the gate. Whoa! No, I don't have any more, guys. Hey! Don't get back out in front of me. Nope. Nope. There, trick them by dropping that. Close that back up. Sorry, guys, I tricked you. I know. And there we go. There we go. Sometimes you got to trick the animals. And sorry. He want to do something to the cow, said Matthew. Peter said hi. Matthew said something sexual. And Peter said, how many weeks and months is Gabby? How many weeks and months? So Gabby is 2.5 years old. And she's 2.5 years old. And she is she's between. So we don't know if my bull got her pregnant before we butchered him, or if the neighbor's bull got her pregnant. So she's either 1 to 3 months pregnant. So we're just gonna have to really start watching her closer too. We don't really have a good way of knowing if my bull got her pregnant or the neighbor's bull got her pregnant. So it's kind of one of those things where we're gonna have to watch. If in 6 months from now she doesn't have a baby, then we got 3 more months to wait. And we're really hoping that she wasn't pregnant, because A, otherwise that meant we wasted our time trying to breed her with the neighbor's bull, or B, she's gonna have a baby in the winter, and I didn't want to have that. So it's hard to say, but I think, guys, let's just see if anyone's got any last minute questions before we wrap this up. So let me just come lean against the barn for a second, get some light. And I wanted to show you the baby rabbits before we go. So that'll be the last thing we do, is I'll show you the baby rabbits. Taz says, is your cow for milk or will you eat Gabby? Gabby is a breeder. She's a black Angus cow, so we're breeding her so that we can have so we can eat her babies. The goal is to eat and sell her babies. But yeah, she won't be eaten, and we don't milk her. Her milk wouldn't be any good. She's not a milk breed. TH Outdoors says, do the rabbits like dandelions? I assume, yes, they do. They did at my last house. Peter says, good job catching that, Matthew. And MK Knife Making says, my neighbor's rooster got my chicken pregnant. I mean, that'll happen, but once she lays the egg, she's no longer pregnant. So, you know, she's pregnant for a day. Chickens are pregnant for a day. Peter Snyder says, so does Gabby, Gabby doesn't know who the father is, huh? Well, if the father's black, we know it was Buddy. If the baby is black, we know who the father was. We don't have to put her on Murray. We'll know who the father was. And Matthew says it was easy to catch Peter, and Taz says, okay. The outdoors with Ellie says, what the hey are you doing? Get off the roof. Don't worry, man. I'm not on the roof. I'm leaning against the roof. We're just standing here. This is a lean-to off my barn. I built this off the barn. It looked, sure, like I was on the roof, but don't worry. We're good, man. We're good. Oh. And Peter says, Matthew, good job anyway. And Matthew says, MK Knife Making wanted to be a mod earlier. As long as nobody abuses it, we can make it happen. Why not? The more the merrier. And let's take a little look at these baby bunnies. Well, let's go find, they're about, I want to say they're coming on 3 weeks old now. Time flies. I want to say this will be week 3, so they should all have their eyes open now. We got to spin you guys around. Turn the light on. And the babies should still be in the back corner here. Yes, they are. So these guys are 3 weeks old now. Just little babies. And Peter, you're already a mod, my man. You're already a mod. That's why your name is Blue. And Taz, have a great night. Thank you for joining us. Take care. Jill says, thanks for sharing your homestead life. Admirable. I appreciate you, Jill. I appreciate all of you guys, man. Everyone, thank you. I am going to wrap this up. What better way to say goodnight than to say goodnight to the baby rabbits as well. Good night, everyone. Good night, Darlene. I hope you guys all have a fantastic night. I wish you guys all the best. Take care, and we will chat again soon. And yeah, like I said, I'm thinking I might take you guys fishing tomorrow during the day. So, you know, if you guys are around, it'll be around probably 11 o'clock Central Time. And we'll get out on the lake for a little bit. We'll go check out some good fishing spots, see what we can catch. Otherwise, have a good night, guys.